Hello everyone and welcome to the hands-on demo on Amazon Translate. So in this demo, we will set up S3 buckets for source and translated documents. Then we will create IAM roles and policies for Amazon Translate. Then we will configure Amazon Translate for real-time translation. We will set up batch translation jobs. Then we will create a Lambda function for automated translation triggers. Then we'll test both real-time and batch translation scenarios. Then we will monitor translation jobs and review the results. And finally, we will clean up all the resources. So this is the visual representation of this demo. Not exactly in this particular order, but just to give you an idea. So we will have IAM rules, then IAM policies. We will configure real-time translation using Translate. We will set up some batch translation jobs also. We will have Lambda functions to test the real-time scenarios or near real-time scenarios, and batch for batch translations. We will monitor the jobs using CloudWatch. We will review the results. And separately, we will have source documents and translated documents. They will be two separate S3 buckets. So first, create a source bucket. So this will be the bucket name. So I'll copy the bucket name. I have logged into AWS Console Home and I am working in the default US East 1 North Virginia region. So search for S3. Click on S3. Click on create bucket. I'll paste the bucket name and keep all the default settings and click on create bucket. So this is my first bucket. This is the source bucket. And then I will create a output bucket or the target bucket. So I'll copy the bucket name, click on create bucket and paste the bucket name. So just replace the last number with some random number because it's universally unique. So if somebody has taken this name, you cannot have the exact same name. So I'll say create bucket. So I have created both my source and output bucket. Then next we will create a folder inside source bucket and I'll call it input documents. So this is inside the source bucket. So I'll copy the folder name and go inside the demo source and click on create folder. Paste the folder name, input documents and click on create folder. Next, I will create a target folder in the output bucket. So I copy the bucket folder name. So this is the source bucket. So click on buckets and go to the output bucket and click on create bucket. I'll paste the bucket name, folder name and click on create folder. So the folder is created. So these are my buckets and the folder inside them. So next I will test the bulk document first. So I have created 3 text file. So 1.txt, 2.txt and there is some sample text. So I'll just showcase that first. So I have opened this in Visual Studio Code. So this is 1.txt, 2.txt and 3.txt. So this will be available as part of the slides. So what you can do, so you can just click here, copy and open any text editor of your choice. And what you can do, you can just save in the text editor and you can save this. So this is how you will get some text sample content. So anyways, so these are the 3 text file and so 1.txt, 2.txt, 3.txt. So what I need to do first is to upload this to input documents, which is part of source bucket, right? So what I need to do is I go to the source bucket and there is a folder input documents. Click on that, click on upload and click on add files. So I'll go to I have saved it to desktop translate demo. So I'll take 1, 2 and 3. So these 3 documents I have now I am uploading it to the folder. So click on upload and this is getting uploaded and then you will see a success message saying that upload succeeded. Then you can just close it and close this also. So the next step is to so next we will create a role for batch translation. So for this this is not for batch translation. This is for near real time. So this is a Lambda function which will be triggered as soon as you input any document to SC input folder. So for this, I will go to IAM. So click on IAM. I will open this in a new tab. And click on roles, create role, and first you have to select who can assume this role. So we are saying AWS service or AWS account or web identity, SAML 2.0 federation or custom trust policy. So in this case, AWS service, and select Lambda because this will be assumed by Lambda. So who can assume this role? We are saying Lambda, and then this Lambda will need some permissions. So first it will need Lambda basic execution role permission policy. So paste the name and select this. This is a AWS managed policy. So make sure you just click select. And next, there are two more permission policies. Next is translate full access. So copy the permission policies and select, search for it and make sure you select it. So now there are two permission policies, and third one is Amazon S3 full access. So I copy this and paste this. So Amazon S3 full access. So these three are now part of that role. So click on next and provide a name to this role. So I'm saying this is translate Lambda role. So this is a user defined name. So you can give whatever name you like. So I'm just calling it translate Lambda role, create role. So these three policies are part of that role. So we have reviewed. So these three policies were part of that particular role. So role was created. Next, we'll check out the translate service. So all the supporting backend artifacts, everything is created now. Now we'll go and do the real testing. So I'll search for translate and click open this in a new tab, Amazon Translate. And now I have some sample text. So I'll just copy this. It's like, welcome to our global business platform, and we provide comprehensive solutions for international commerce, including multi-language support, currency conversion, and cross-border logistics management. So this is just a sample text. So I copy this sample text, and so here there are a couple of options. Just you can click on launch real-time translation. So this is only for testing. So I'll just paste it, and it will auto detect the source language. But in case you want, you can obviously choose this, but it is smart enough to automatically. So even if you give in some other language, it will be able to figure out what is the input language and then the target language. So let's say I just say Spanish. So this will be translated into Spanish. And there are some other options like custom terminology, brevity, formality, profanity masking. And if there is any application integration, so this is how the JSON request will look like and JSON response. So if you are integrating with your web applications, so this is how the input body and output body will look like. And then you can just play around with some more languages. So we have gone through this, and we can, let's say, French, Chinese. So let me just show how it looks like. So let's say if I click on French, it will immediately, because it's a real-time translation. And let's say I click on Chinese. And so this is how it looks like. And let's say I choose Hindi also. And this is how the translation will look like. Okay, so next we will do a batch translation. So batch translation will consider the 3 text file which is there in the S3 bucket input folder, right? So I go to the batch translation and click on create job and provide the job name. So I copy the job name and paste it. So demo batch translation job. So choose language. So it's automatic detected, and target language. So I'll just say auto, and so in this case also I'll just choose Spanish. And then where is the input data? So you can select folder and it will let you browse. So I'll just demo source. So I just click on the arrow and input documents. So I'm specifying the folder and choose format. So our input data is in text file .txt. So there are other options like HTML, Word, Excel, PowerPoint and XLIFF. Okay, then output data. So select folder and select the output, demo output bucket and select the processed folder, right? And if you want to customize the encryption settings, this is advanced, so but I'm not doing it. So you can provide your AWS KMS key. So uncheck it, and any customization option, formality, profanity masking, custom terminology if you want to provide, parallel data. And next is IAM role. So this will create a new role. So what role we created, that will come in the next few steps when I do the real-time translation. But for this, it needs a role. So just say create an IAM role and then say input and output S3 bucket. So it will automatically, so based on the settings which we have provided, input data and output data. So these two buckets, it will automatically create a role with necessary permissions to act on these two buckets and input and output. So type a role name. So this role will be, this will be the prefix, then hyphen, and just you can provide some suffix. So I just call it demo. Then create job. So this will go ahead and create a batch translation job. So this will come handy when, let's say, you have a lot of documents and you have big, let's say, Word documents, which is very huge in size. You can convert them all at one go. So you can just upload it to S3 and let it translate. So this will create a job first and it will immediately trigger the translation. So let it continue. So we have covered this input data, output data, customization options, and creating an IAM role. So this will go first in progress and it will be submitted, and after some time it will be completed. So once it gets completed, we can go to the demo output bucket, and inside processed folder we should be able to see our translated text files. So this is submitted. I will just refresh it once over here, and this is still in progress. So I will come back. Let me just refresh once again. So let it complete, and meanwhile I will, so this is how the output will look like once it's translated. So now we will do the second part where we will do the real-time translation using Lambda trigger. So what happens is, in the Lambda trigger there will be a trigger like S3 input trigger. So as soon as you upload any document to the S3 bucket, this trigger Lambda will be automatically triggered. So now we are manually clicking some buttons and write, but in this case, as soon as you put any document, and S3 event trigger will watch or monitor that input bucket. As soon as any event come or any file is uploaded, it will automatically trigger the Lambda, and Lambda will contain the code to do the translation. So I'll copy the Lambda function. We'll create a Lambda function which will be based on Python 3.13. So let me just refresh once again, and if not, then I will continue to. Okay, so it's still in progress. So I go to the Lambda service, open this also in a new tab, and click on create function. Provide the function name, and runtime will be Python 3.13, and rest all settings are default. Only thing I will provide the use an existing role. This is the role which I have created previously, translate Lambda role. So I say use an existing role, and there is only one. So it automatically figures out that this role is assuming the Lambda. So that's why only this one showed up, not other roles. There are many roles, but it knows which one is the right one, because the roles which will be assumed by Lambda, those only will be populated over here. Okay, and rest all settings are default, and click on create function. Then we will add some code to the Lambda function. So let it load. So I'll show you the code also. So let me go here. So this is the whole code. You can copy the whole code, and let's see, and copy the whole code and paste in the you can paste directly from here. For example, copy here, copy from here, and replace the whole code. Okay, and this screen is bit like small, so I'll just explain this particular code in Visual Studio Code, but the code is exactly the same. So this is the Lambda function, and we are starting with some imports like JSON Boto3. Boto3 is the default Lambda library, and URL lib pass, and some datetime functions also. So first we start with Boto3 client, and it is initializing translate service and the S3 service. So there are two clients, and then what it's saying, because this gets triggered on the S3 event trigger. So we are saying for record in event, so number of records. So in this case it will be only one. Then we are finding out the bucket name and finding out the key, which is the file name. And then we try to read the uploaded file. So S3 client get bucket. So bucket which is coming from the input trigger, and the text file name this will in this case 1.txt, 3.txt, whatever be the file name. And the file content is read. Then we use the translate client, and translate client has this function translate text, and text is the file content, the whole file content which is read through the UTF-8 decode method. Then source language is auto, and what is the target language? So Spanish. Then translated text will be translation. So this response, once this calls this function, inside that function this will be like a dictionary, and we are saying give the translated text and source language the translation response. So this will give the text and thus what is the source language. So it, in this case English, right? And then the output key. So this will create an output file name. So based on that, the file name will be something like translated /key. So once and followed by translated to Spanish.txt. So this will become obvious once you see the output, how the output key or the file name looks like. And then output bucket. So translate demo output. So make sure you replace the exact bucket name which you have created. So in this case, my bucket name is matching exactly, so I don't have to change any code. And then we are putting this object in the output bucket. So this is the output bucket, and the file name and the body, what will go inside, and the content type will be text plain. And finally we'll just say successfully translated the file from this language to this language, and we will have some written response code like 200, and there's some message, and if any exceptions are there. So this is the whole Lambda function, and I have to scroll down and click on deploy. So now this is the code is getting deployed. So successfully updated the function. Okay, so I'll scroll up, and we have seen till this part deployed. Now we will add a trigger. So okay, so once you come up here on the top part, you will say add trigger. So first you will select what will be the source trigger. So in this case we are selecting S3. So just search for S3, and we have to select the which bucket it will be listening for. So you can say, so you can select only the this will start with like source, bucket name, and event types. So we can just default all object create events. So just keep it default, which is already selected, and prefix. So in our case, the prefix is actually the folder name. So input document /. So I'll just type it out. So this is the prefix which is the folder, and suffix optional. So I'm saying I am interested only in .txt files. Okay, alright, and then just select this. I acknowledge that using the same S3 bucket for both input output is not recommended, but we are not doing this, but this is just to make sure that you know there's a problem if you select, because this can go into infinite loop. And so let me just confirm everything is correct. So all object input and okay, and source, right? So click on add. So this will add a trigger. So this trigger is added. Now we will upload a new document to the input bucket. So, but before that, let me just see what is the status of this particular task. So, okay, this is still not finished. So, this is going on. Okay, next I will upload a new file to the input bucket 4.txt, and we will see our Lambda function being triggered or not. So I come to the demo source bucket and input documents. So there are 3 documents. Now I will add one more. So add files and choose the new. So we are doing this step because once the Lambda function is ready, then only after that it will pick up the new. From that point onwards, it will look for any new files being uploaded. So this is upload succeeded, and then we will see whether this gets triggered or not. So we have to go to CloudWatch log groups. So I go to the CloudWatch service. Open this also in a new tab. And I have to search for log groups, which will be like, so /AWS, and for Lambda, all Lambda services. Then any kind of Lambda function you create, it will have its own log groups. So I go to the logs, log groups, and search for translate. So you will see this auto translate function which I have created. And here you will see log streams. So click on the log streams. And let me just expand. Okay, so I'll just refresh. Okay, so there's runtime version, all those things. So you can see here this message, right? Successfully translated input documents 4.txt from EN to Spanish, as what we have seen in the Lambda function, right? So this was the message that we were expecting. Successfully translated file name from EN English to Spanish. And this is all the logs, and this is finished. So it automatically gets triggered, right? So now we can go ahead and check out the S3 buckets to see if our. So I'll close this. So this is the 4.txt which we have put, and if I go to the buckets and open the output. So I'll open this in a new tab. So demo output. So here Lambda function has, so this is the processed, this is for batch, and this is for translated. So I click this translated, and you can, it has assigned as per the Lambda function 4.txt translated to Spanish.txt. So that was the logic which I was talking about. So that's how it got a name like this, translated to Spanish, and this is the translated slash. So this is how it got the file name. So I will just click this, and let me try to open this. So this is how the translation for our 4.txt is. So let me open 4.txt. So this is the whole thing in English, and this is the whole thing in Spanish. And lastly, let me just see why our batch translation has finished or not. So it is still going on. Batch translation. So I'll just pause the video for some time. Once it's finished, I will resume and show showcase the output. Okay, so quick word here. So this is still going on, but when I checked out the batch translation, I see the translation has already happened. But I can confirm the status will change to completed after some time. So I can showcase. So if you just click the translation job, you will see output file location. So you can directly go to the S3 bucket or click on here. So I'll just open this in a new tab. And then you will see it has gone to the right output bucket, processed, and there's some folder which is created. Then it has created those files like es1.txt, 2 and 3.txt. So I'll just open one of it and click on open. So I'll just save it to same place, translate demo and save. I'll replace. And if I open that in Visual Studio Code, this is how it looks like. So this is the translation. So this is the English and this is, so I can just see 150, which is like in 1.txt there's 50 plus countries and there's 50. So I'm like, I'm not good in Spanish. I cannot speak out. So this is, I'm able to figure out, okay, this is the correct translation. And that's all. Then finally I will clean up all the resources. So we have seen all this, translated output and clean up. So first empty the bucket number 1. So I go to the S3 buckets and select the source bucket, click on empty and type in permanently delete. Empty, exit, then select the bucket and click on delete and type in the whole, paste the bucket name, and then this bucket will get deleted. Same for the demo output. Click on empty, type in permanently delete, click on empty, exit and select the demo output and click on delete, copy the bucket name and click on delete. So okay, and so the buckets have been, all the buckets now got deleted. Next we'll delete the IAM roles. So copy the role name and go to the IAM and just type in, paste the translate. So there is only translate lambda role. So I can select this and click on delete. And for this I have to paste this translate lambda role. Okay, let me check for demo roles also. So demo, so there's, let me refresh and search. Okay, so this is the translate service role and that we have provided, like suffix right hyphen demo. So I can delete this also. So this will create the 2 rows that were created as part of this demo. And here I just had to play one, like first one did not, there was some issue with the first role, that's why I created the second one. But for if you are trying out this hands-on, there will be only 1 and 2. There will be only 2 rows which you have to delete. Then finally delete the lambda function. So I go to the lambda console. So it's here, right, and click actions and delete function, click on delete. So this will also delete the trigger also. S3 event trigger was successfully deleted. Next, okay, so if you are deleting from here, like this screen, then you will see the confirm function, but here I can verify that there is no lambda function now. And then that's all. Thanks for watching.